It was July 3rd and the time was 3:50 a.m. Yes, you read it right. We started our journey well before dawn. Come join us for this 250 kilometers drive. And let me remind you, this is not just a travel blog. It's a chance for all of you to explore the art of storytelling in English and specifically how we switch between different tenses to make our narratives rich and engaging. So pay close attention and join me on this very special journey, our recent trip to Nasik and Trimbakeshwar. This trip was truly much awaited. My husband and I had been planning it for months. It was going to be our first Jyotirling Darshan as a couple, a deeply spiritual experience. We were going to Trimbakeshwar, one of the 12 sacred Jyotirlings of Lord Shiva. The excitement was building with every passing minute. My husband logs off at 2:30 a.m. Hence, we left as soon as he came back home. I had also not slept the entire night. We were scared that we might get tired and it might be difficult, but trust me, once we hit the roads, it was just amazing. We had come this far by now, and the roads were so good because it had rained, everything seemed to be so clean and tidy. As I have told you all before, both of us love road trips. So we were enjoying this one to the fullest as well, listening to music and talking our hearts out. We must say, every time we go on a road trip these days, we can't help but praise the government for the measures that it has taken to uplift the roads, especially in Maharashtra. Whenever we travel, the roads are so beautifully done, and great roads always add to the thrill of road trips. By now, we had driven almost for 2.5, 3 hours without any stop, and we were discussing that once the sun is out, we shall take a stop for tea and also refill the fuel tank. Oops, I just realized in the excitement of storytelling, I forgot to welcome you all to my channel today. So, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Speak Up with Moupriya. I hope you all are enjoying this dynamic narration journey with me and also excited to see what we do once we get to Nasik and Trimbakeshwar. For all of you who are watching me for the first time, guys, my name is Moupriya and I am a communication coach and a soft skills trainer. I am also a TEFL certified spoken English trainer and a certified life coach. And on this channel, Speak Up with Moupriya, my aim is to help all of you not just to master the English language, but also become confident communicators who are good at their soft skills to navigate through their personal as well as professional lives without any hesitation or self doubt. So, if you like my channel, consider subscribing and share it with a friend who might also benefit from these videos. As it started getting clear, the beauty of the highway and the surrounding areas started to mesmerize us. As they say, the journey is more beautiful than reaching the destination. We realize this every time we are traveling and we are on the roads. There is indeed a different kind of excitement, thrill, and anticipation in waiting for what's coming next. Don't you agree? As the sun began to paint the sky with hues of blue and white, the journey itself became a beautiful experience. We watched the landscape change from cityscapes to green fields. The world was waking up around us, and we were filled with a new kind of anticipation. It was almost around 6 o'clock by now, and I was starting to feel a little sleepy, hungry, as well as a little tired. So I was telling my husband to look for a quick stop so that we could have a hot cup of tea and also some refreshments to gain some energy for the rest of the road. Finally, we were able to spot a petrol pump, and just beside it, there was a tea stall. It was great because we could do both the things in one stop. We refueled the tank and also stopped here for some tea and refreshment. Now, you all quickly tell me in the comment section, can you think of one idiom that you can use in this scenario when we can do two things with one action? It was indeed turning out to be a serene morning, and the weather was so pleasant and enjoyable. We took a cup of tea and some biscuits here. The sun was almost about to rise, and once done, we started on our journey once again. I had thought that having a cup of tea is going to freshen me up. However, once we started driving again, looking at the weather outside and enjoying the scenic beauty, I actually started feeling really drowsy. My husband told me that, why don't you take a quick nap? I will drive alone. It's all right. It's important that you rest because you have been up for almost 24 hours now. Yes, it's right. I woke up the previous day at around 8 in the morning and I had not slept the entire day. So, reluctantly, I decided to take a quick nap, and that is why I couldn't record quite a few places on the way, but I really enjoyed that sleep. That I am very sure of. At around quarter to nine, my husband woke me up and said that we have already entered Nasik city. We are just about 30 minutes away from Trimbakeshwar. So now you get up and freshen up and enjoy the views of the city. By 9:15 we reached Trimbakeshwar, and this is how the weather was on that day. We quickly booked a hotel and checked into it to freshen up because I was feeling really drowsy, but I couldn't help but capture this beautiful scenic view that we had from the hotel. Let me show it to you. See, as soon as we stepped out of the hotel, this is how the weather was, and the mountains were looking so beautiful. It was drizzling and foggy and absolutely dreamy. We quickly had some breakfast, freshened up, and then started for our much awaited Trimbakeshwar Jyotirling Darshan. Everything about that day seemed to be so magical. The guys that you see ahead of us on the bike wearing the green raincoat, they showed us a place right in front of the temple where we could park our car. And from there, we had to just walk around 200 meters. We bought a basket of fruits and flowers to offer to Mahadev, and then we started our journey to get into the temple. It was raining, but it did not matter because everything seemed so peaceful and so beautiful. Inside the main sanctum, the atmosphere was incredibly powerful. We had a very peaceful darshan of the Jyotirlinga because we had the VIP passes. It wasn't crowded as well at that specific time, which made the experience even more profound. We stood there for a few moments, offering our prayers and soaking in the divine energy. My heart felt full of gratitude. This was a moment that we will always cherish. After our darshan, we spent a little time walking around the temple complex, and then we headed back to our hotel. Once we reached the hotel, we just went off to sleep because both of us were really tired and also very satisfied by now after the darshan. So, this was our time to catch up on some sleep. We went back to the hotel and went off to sleep. However, it was just for 2 hours. By 3:30 we were ready and back on the roads, and this time we were on the way to explore Nasik city. We were heading to Tapovan and Panchvati, places rich with mythological history from the Ramayana and also natural beauty. Thankfully, the weather continued to be on our side. It was raining, it was really romantic and absolutely dreamy. Since we had not eaten anything since our breakfast, we thought first we'll have lunch and then we will continue on our journey. So we stopped at this nice dhaba, and every time we are traveling and we are at a dhaba, there are only a couple of specific things that we order, and we continued to do that here as well. So we ordered jeera rice, aloo jeera, and dal tadka. Along with that, of course, a lot of salad. We enjoyed the meal and then we started on our journey again to explore Nasik. The roads from Trimbakeshwar to Nasik is also really well maintained, and the scenic beauty is also amazing. So if you are also visiting this place and you decide to drive, you are definitely going to enjoy the views as well as enjoy the overall driving experience. We reached Nasik city by around 4:30, and before heading to Tapovan, we thought it's a good idea to withdraw some cash from the ATM. And here is a quick tip. I often hear a lot of you say, I need to remove cash from the ATM, or I just removed some cash from the ATM. You never remove cash, you always withdraw cash from an ATM machine. I hope you're going to remember that and not make that mistake again. All right, so now we were almost there at Panchvati, and I was really excited to see the places where the actual incidents of Ramayana happened. Since my childhood, I have been quite interested in the epics of Mahabharata and Ramayana. And whenever I travel anywhere, if there are any places that we can explore which are related to the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, I definitely take out some time and visit those places. I expected Panchvati and Tapovan to be a very quiet and serene place. However, to my surprise, it was exactly the opposite of that. It was congested, crowded, and commercialized. However, within all of that, you could see the five banyan trees, which gives this place its name, Panchvati. Panch means five, and Vat is the name of the tree. There, the first place we visited was the Sita Gufa. This is where Ma Sita was supposedly hiding for one day. And this place is really interesting because this is a cave where you have to crouch and go inside. After that, we came out and we had some lemon tea, and then we went to visit the Kala Ram Mandir. It is called the Kalaram Mandir because the idols are made of black stone. Once done, we booked an auto and we went on a tour to visit Tapovan. There were many points, but we were not shooting there. But this particular place I definitely had to capture for all of you. This is the place where River Godavari meets River Kapila. They also say that this is that place where Ma Sita gave her Agni Pariksha. This right here is supposedly the kund where she jumped into fire. Visiting places like this actually transports me to a different era. Honestly, I totally enjoy getting to know the rich cultural history of our country. Once we were done here, our last stop for the day was the Godavari Ghat, and I was really excited to see the Godavari Aarti. As dusk began to settle, the Godavari bank turned truly magical. Hundreds of devotees were gathered, yet there was so much of peace. It was serene, calm, and absolutely meditative. As soon as the priests announced that the Aarti is going to begin now, the atmosphere on the banks of Godavari turned electrifying. Everybody was so excited and eagerly waiting to witness the beautiful Godavari Aarti. The priests were well trained and they performed the Aarti with flowers, incense, dhoop, and along with that, lamps as well. This was indeed something that I had never witnessed in my life. I had only seen reels of the Varanasi Aarti, the Haridwar Aarti. However, this was the first time that I witnessed a river Aarti, that too live. Honestly, it was a sensory feast. The sights, the sounds, the smell of incense and flowers. This collective devotion created an energy that was palpable. We stood there completely immersed in the moment, feeling a deep sense of peace and connection. The Godavari Aarti is not just a ritual, it is an experience that touches your soul. It was a beautiful, powerful, and incredibly peaceful ending to our first day of exploration and spirituality in Nasik. This was indeed the perfect way to end our first day in Nasik. And that, my friends, was day one of our incredible Nasik trip. We started our journey in the dark, had a peaceful darshan at Trimbakeshwar, rested at our hotel, and then explored the historic sites of Panchvati, and finally ending the day with the enchanting Godavari Aarti. I hope you paid close attention to how I told this story, and more importantly, how I switched between tenses. from past actions like we started and we visited to present descriptions like the temple is beautiful and prayers give me peace. Mastering this easy switching in your tenses and also being able to narrate everything in detail is the key to natural and engaging English storytelling. I hope that this video adds some value to your learning journey. And as we enjoyed our trip, I hope you also enjoyed witnessing our journey. We have so much more to share from day 2 of our Nasik adventure, including more beautiful sights and fun experiences. You definitely don't want to miss it. So please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends who love travel or are learning English. And most importantly, subscribe to Speak Up with Moupriya and hit that notification bell so you are notified when part 2 comes out next week. With that, I am going to wrap up today's video. I hope you stay healthy, happy, and blessed, and you learn something new every single day. Part 2 comes out next week. However, I will see you tomorrow in another new video. Till that time, you guys take care and bye.